Hello, this is Alam 33, and I'm today going to talk about women being oppressed. Not in Islam, but in Western countries and so forth. A lot of Western women, some who only seen Islam through the cases of the media and so forth, think Muslim women are oppressed because we have to cover when we go outside. And they have never seen the Muslim women in the forms that the media show them as being women who get things done, the shakers and the movers of that society. They turn the TV, and the first thing they see is Afghanistani women wearing burqas and covering, and women in Saudi Arabia wearing niqabs and so forth, and they think all those women are oppressed because they don't show their hair and their faces and sometimes even their hands. And I have something to say for that. That's not really the case. It's not Islam that oppresses women. It's the people who are misleading those women, who are oppressing those women. Because more than anything, I don't think that the mothers of the believers, women like Aisha, Khadijah, Sauda, may Allah be pleased with them, would ever let anything happen like that. They would speak out against it. They'll say this is wrong. And they have been known to do that. And also on top of that, if that's the case of women in Muslim countries being oppressed, how about the women in Western cultures? I mean, how about Western culture where it's okay to put a woman, a naked, half-naked woman, on the cover of a magazine just to make it sell? I mean, trust me, you have to be showing something in this world in order to be recognized in this type of culture. So is that now oppression itself? Because after all, like you are putting your best goods out there for the world to see, even if it's your hair. And a lot of non-Muslim women argue that showing your hair is not slutty. It has nothing to do with hair. It has nothing to do with legs or so forth. It has to do with the fact that for Muslims, Allah has laid down the obligation as clear as day and as straightforward. You gotta cover. And that applies to men too. It may not look like Muslim men have to cover, but believe me, they have to follow a certain type of dress code. For one thing, they can't wear silk, they can't wear gold, and they can't run around in tight stuff. So even they have to follow a dress code, even if it seems like they don't. But going back to oppression and so forth, women are basically the slaves of many things. And the best of slaves is the slaves of Allah. The women who don't care about what fashion says, who don't care what men say, the women who basically don't care what their mom says, Muslim or non-Muslim, they just want to please Allah. And if they want to please Allah, they know for a certain fact that they have to cover. That's just how it is. And on top of that, when a woman covers for the sake of Allah, inshallah, Allah will grant her all those things that she had been wanting. Inshallah, He will grant her beauty, strength, prosperity. And if she don't get it in this lifetime, she will get it in the next, inshallah. The important fact about it is that she obeys Allah. She does what Allah tells her to. And she strives to do that, because Allah knows best. As for women who are the slaves to anything else but God, you have a problem, because what slaves do and what slaves have been known of doing, what slaves have been known to do in history or fiction, is the first thing: they're stripped. Slaves have been always stripped because your master wants to see your best assets. He wants to know, well, that slave has big breasts, that slave has nice hair, that slave has good legs, that slave has great teeth. He strips his slaves before he buys them. I mean, that in itself just spells out disrespect. And just to hear non-Muslim women say, oh, well, Muslim women are oppressed. Muslim women are oppressed. No, have you ever read the Tales of Gore? Have you ever noticed, if you ever read anything that had anything to do with slavery, they stripped the slaves. They strip down the slaves and inspect the slaves for any type of defaults or any type of blemishes and so forth. And that's just disrespectful, and it's very inhumane. And as far as Muslim women being slaves to Allah, we don't have to strip for him. He don't strip us down and tell us, well, like, you got terrible legs, I can't buy you. He doesn't treat us as objects. He's treated us as his creation. So I don't really get why women in general have to basically show something to the world. And basically it being like even the smallest thing, like some cleavage or some leg or some hips or something, and you think that because you're wearing pants, you're modest, even if they're really, really, really tight pants, and everybody can see the imprint of your butt in the back of your pants. That's modest. Or you might wear a little baby t-shirt, baby tees, with a little long tight shirt underneath it, and look really cute, and you may think that's really, really, really modest, but really is not, because you're putting your shape out there for people to see. So they don't have to strip you. They don't have to strip you like a good little slave. They can just see right through your clothes and go, oh, well, she got a size 24, 36, 26. Not my type of woman. And this is the same thing that feminists have been fighting against for years. And whatnot. Because even if you look in art, if you look at art, 98% of women is always shown as naked women. And I mean, if you basically don't give them what they want, men especially are fashion, then you're not a slave to all this. And you're not considered a slave. And actually, you're thought of as quite the opposite. You're thought of as a prune. You're thought of as oppressed. You're thought of as uptight. You're thought of as old-fashioned. Just because you refuse to show cleavage or have your hair blowing in the wind and whatnot. So that's my little impromptu rant or whatever about oppression. And this is Alam 33 signing off. Thank you.